absolutely ridiculous. They'll believe anything. They'll believe anything.
So we're back, everybody. I'm Richard, and this is
I'm
Abby.
Hi.
And welcome to our channel.
Yeah.
How do you say it?
Idea. 没想法.
没想法 in Chinese, correct.
Right.
So something very interesting happened in Taiwan this week.
Oh, yeah, because
How many people received text messages?
Oh, like a million, at least.
I think it's over a million, right?
Over a million people.
Yeah,
Okay.
and from
Did
who?
you get a message?
I didn't, luckily.
Oh.
Did you?
No, my company send remind people if you got message, you have to test at home.
So who was the message from? I think we got to get that out.
From government, CDC, I think.
The CDC sent like more than 1 million people a message. Okay, why?
Because someone get virus and it's Delta, right?
Oh, shit,
and
I
it's
see.
like a super virus, and you will spread so fast. So government are worried about that.
Yeah, apparently. Super virus, right?
Yeah, that's the mainstream idea right now. So you should be aware.
Yeah, interesting. Just a quick segue from there. You know what? I read something this week, and they said that when Delta got going in America, like properly, like I think it was in June, July or something, they had a 750% increase in the case numbers. Sounds terrible, right?
But okay, but you have to look at the death rate.
Yeah, there's something interesting that I'm going to tell you, right? So if you hear this number, you think 750% increase. Like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But you should always look, did something else happen at the same time?
Something else?
Something
Other
else
disease?
did happen. No. 500% increase in testing.
500% increase
In testing. So they started testing the 500% more. The rate of testing went up 500%, and then the rate of cases went up 750%. So it's not like they kept the testing the same like you would do in a science experiment. They actually increased all the testing at the same time. It's a nice way to get extra numbers, it seems, right?
Because they are busy at testing people. So
Yeah, the more people you
number
test,
is
the
high.
more cases you're going to find, especially for people asymptomatic. And talking about that, I think it was the CDC also came out recently and said that 80% of Americans have antibodies for COVID. And more than that, they said it looks like double the people have had COVID than the case numbers. So that means that most of the people who had it actually were asymptomatic.
Yeah.
So it looks like many, many more people have gotten COVID than we know, which I think would make some of the rates even lower for death and things.
No. About this information, I think there are two parts of people, two groups of people will think to explain this information. One group will say, oh my God, yeah, government should test all the people because you see there are higher numbers we don't know. It's like a black number we should figure out and like quarantine them or just like block them or just like to get them vaccine. Okay, another group will think, hey, you see, lots of people are getting virus, but they still feel okay. They're still alive. It's just more like flu. People should learn how to live with virus.
Sure. So talking about that, I have other information to share.
Oh, okay, right.
So a while ago, like a month or two, I was really wrong because I was talking to people and the thing I was saying was, I've never heard of an asymptomatic virus before. I mean, I remember the words I said. I was like, come on, man, when have you ever heard about asymptomatic? You're sick, but you don't feel sick. But dude, I was wrong. Because from what I've learned now, you actually, and me and everybody, we all get sick and we don't know it quite frequently. Apparently, we get sick from viruses regularly and we're asymptomatic and we never know. Because how do you define a successful virus? Like, what is a successful virus? Is it one that kills you like really badly?
No, stay with you, like stay with the people.
Exactly. One that can spread more. So a virus that doesn't really hurt you, but lives in you, and you can then walk around and spread it to as many people as possible, that virus is going to be more successful.
Oh, that's their goal.
So actually, we're all getting sick regularly, but we're all asymptomatic. So actually, I was wrong. Like, asymptomatic is not some new thing that they're pushing. It always happens.
Yeah.
So you were talking about the two groups of people. The second group who said, oh, we should just live with it, I think they make more sense, because actually that's already happening. We don't want to test people for all those other viruses that we're all getting regularly, do we?
Right.
So-
You should be like live with them. You just accept them. You couldn't kill them like forever.
Sure.
You have to learn how to.
But when I said to you that they increased the testing 500% and they got a 750% rise in cases, what did they do with the numbers? They used the rising cases to implement more lockdowns and more policies and to scare people more, so people would give up more of their freedoms. So for me, it would be way more scary if you kept the testing kind of the same and then you had that 750% rise. But if you got a rise in cases and at the same time you saw all of a sudden they just started testing way more people, you got to say, why did you start testing so many more people? Like, were you looking to get more cases? It seems like it, but I'm not saying that's true. That's how it seems to me, right? Why would you all of a sudden increase your testing by 500%?
Right. Okay. I've seen an interesting narrative on Facebook yesterday. Like one guy lived in America. Let's say, China. Since the COVID bubble at the first time, China did lockdown, and with the media spread the information, this image just trigger all the government's institution. Just remind them, hey, I show you how to control.
So you mean all the countries copied China?
Yeah, because China
maybe.
showed that like, see, we can lock down people with fear and with them more strongly mandation. Okay.
Mandate.
Mandate. And I think you can see after that lots of countries follow the strategy. Because before, like Ebola or SARS, they don't do the same thing. So
But it definitely seems like something is going on, because I remember early on, England said we're going to take it on the chin, which means right in the beginning, they said we tried just to live with this, get to herd immunity, but something seemed to change.
yeah,
So, yeah, I can see why people think that they might have copied China, maybe initially, but afterwards it's been a little bit strange, right? The whole lockdown. Because,
yeah,
so we just said that you're getting sick from viruses all the time, right? So during summer, do viruses disappear?
no.
They're always there. But then
Yeah.
how come people get sick less in summer?
You mean how?
No, why? Why do people, if the viruses are always there, why do so many more people get sick during winter rather than summer?
Because more people move
In winter?
around?
So more people move around in winter?
Oh,
Can't
no,
be
no,
right.
no, no. Okay.
Okay. The answer is that the virus is always there, but our immune systems are stronger during summer than in winter.
Oh,
So the viruses are there waiting to jump, waiting for your immune system to get weak, and then they jump. But that leads to the question, why does your immune system get weak in winter?
because the sun, the
Because of the sun.
temperature?
Not so much the temperature, but vitamin D. When you're in the sun, your body gets more vitamin D.
Yeah.
And also you're probably more active. You do more exercise during
Yeah.
summer. And so exercise, fresh air, sunlight all help your immune system to be stronger. So then you explain to me how lockdown is a good idea. Because obviously during lockdown, you're not getting sunlight, you're not getting exercise, you're not
Right.
getting fresh air.
Okay.
It doesn't take a genius to figure out that the virus is going to love lockdown. And you know what's worse is that which people suffer more from that?
Which people? Elderly people?
People of color. Anyone who has
because
a
they
dark
need
skin.
sunlight.
Because the pigment in their skin doesn't allow a lot of sunlight in. So for those people, they need even more sunlight than someone who is white or possibly Asian. Because we're both pretty pale, right?
Oh,
Well, we got a bit of a tan now, but yeah, we're generally pretty pale. So,
Yeah.
For us, we absorb light better.
Yeah.
So if you put black people under lockdown, it's no wonder the black people are going to struggle because they need that more than anyone else. But anyway, we've gone way off, and it was my fault. So let's get back to what we were talking about. The what happened? The pilots, right? So tell us about the pilots.
Oh, the pirate. Yeah, I've talked with my friends recently.
I thought you were going to say I talked to the pilot.
I know. Nah, just we just wondering.
Yeah, but who are they though first? Like, let's just tell everybody what happened, right? So the pilot, which pilot, from where, what they do.
A pirate, they fly back
From Chicago, I think it
from
was, right?
yeah from another countries. I forgot the country.
I'm not sure. I think it's Chicago, right? And it was on Eva Air, I think. Yeah. Okay, and then
And during the
quarantine.
not a strict quarantine. Like you have to like monitor your health during the period, but I still work around.
Sure. So he lied, right? He lied about where he was, I think. That's why people are pretty pissed with this guy. And he had the Delta virus, right? The Delta variant.
Yeah.
So he caused the Delta variant to spread, I think, to his son and a few other people.
Yeah.
And he was also double vaccinated, right?
Yeah. Right.
And that's why the government sent the text messages. It's like saying, hey, there is a cluster of people. Everyone around who is anywhere near there should be tested.
I think because especially it's Delta variant.
Everyone's terrified.
Terrified about that because it's like much stronger and people are worried.
I don't think it's much stronger. I think
spread
that it's
quick
spreads more, but it's actually less dangerous. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm not quite sure about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there have been way less deaths. So, like I said to you, in America, they had a 750% rise in cases, 500% rise in testing. I think there was only 50% of the deaths that they had before with Alpha. So Delta is definitely less deadly, but spreads more quickly. Yeah, so people are terrified. So everybody received this text message in Taiwan. Well, not everybody, but like more than 1 million people saying, what, go and get tested or be aware or something like this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they tested a lot of people.
They test a lot of people. They even just like close the school because they think it's very they think
Quite a few schools, I think, have closed.
Few
right?
schools and some kindergarten.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I think something else happened, right? Which is in the kindergarten. So another person also double vaccinated with Taiwan's favorite vaccine, Moderna. And also more than 14 days. She had the vaccine for a long time before she spread it to a kindergarten.
Yeah.
Which is also pretty interesting. So, like, everybody loves these vaccines, but what do?
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, like, you tell me, what does a vaccine do? Because you've had them. I'm sure you've got a little mark on your arm here. What do vaccines do?
I know. It's just okay.
Imagine
we
this
know.
is before COVID. What do vaccines do? Define a vaccine for me.
Okay, they starve the disease that you will not be sick anymore.
Okay.
So,
and can you tell me the name of something that makes your symptoms less?
Symptomless?
Yeah, imagine this is before COVID. You get sick with normally a virus, because when you are sick with a virus, doctors cannot really help you. They can't cure the virus. If it's a bacteria, they can give you an antibiotic and they can cure you. But a virus, they normally need to let the virus get out of your system. So when you go to the doctor and you have a virus, what medicines do they give you? They give you medicines so that if you have a lot of bishui, a lot of snot, it'll have less. If you have a headache, your headache will get better. If your stomach's uncomfortable, it'll get better. What do we call those medicines?
Some drugs or the...
Treatment.
Oh, okay.
So we can agree that a medicine that helps you with your symptoms is called a treatment, but a vaccine is something that's supposed to help you not get sick, right?
Okay, vaccine is different from the treatment.
Yeah. So the current vaccines for COVID, what are they? Vaccines or treatments? Do they stop you getting sick?
No.
Do they stop you from spreading the virus?
No.
Do they possibly help you with your symptoms?
Less symptom?
So,
maybe.
what are they? treatment.
Treatment.
Yes.
Okay,
Must be, right? If you follow logic, that's got to be called a treatment, right?
less symptom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I don't
okay.
even think that's true now, because the new studies, I saw something on Politico this morning saying that for the elderly, the vaccine's effectiveness at helping them not go to hospital is disappearing. So old people are fucked. Vaccine, no vaccine, old people are screwed. Right?
Vaccine,
And
no
people who have had double vaccines are still dying all over the place. And if you think about what I said to you earlier, is that they did that study in America, and they said that actually double the people who had COVID
Yeah.
have actually had it. So double what they thought have had it, and most people were asymptomatic. So that means most people had no symptoms or low symptoms. But now they're saying if you have the vaccine, you get low symptoms. So let's say I have the vaccine, which I haven't, but let's say I have the vaccine, and then I get sick and I have low symptoms. Is that because of the vaccine, or was I one of those people who was just going to have low symptoms anyway?
You don't know. You don't know.
Right. So who knows,
No,
right? So
who knows?
apparently they help with symptoms. In the beginning, they stopped you from getting it. Nah, sorry, we were wrong. Then they stopped you from spreading it. No, sorry, we were wrong.
Yeah.
And now, apparently they help with symptoms, although that's disappearing.
No.
Yeah, I tell you, these people who work at pharma companies are fantastic. They do a great job.
Pharmaceutical, like,
Really?
earn
It's
lots of money. Oh, yeah.
For doing what? Making medicine that doesn't work.
Yeah. This is saying, like, a pharmaceutical, they want to earn money. So they don't like their clients to be
Oh, that's true.
to be healthy.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think Tom
because
McDonald talks about that, right? In
yeah,
one of
yeah,
his
yeah, the
songs.
brainwash song.
Yeah.
If you be health, then they couldn't earn money from you. So it's better that you won't die, you won't be sick serious, but just a little bit, and you need to take their medicine or treatments or what kind of the drugs, like forever. It's better.
And you know what's really interesting is that the pharma companies always do like studies on vitamins, and they always say, "Oh, vitamins don't really do anything." Yeah,
Oh.
sure. Why? Well, because if vitamins don't do anything, then you should take our drugs. But we just saw the effect of vitamin D from the sun, but that doesn't do anything, right? So they always do this. And where are the good studies on acupuncture and on Chinese medicine? Where are like good, well done, controlled studies that show why these things work? I've asked, I never see them. Maybe they're there and I just don't know. Look, I'll be honest, but I haven't seen them. Because they don't want to show how these alternative treatments can work. Because if you think about it, if you go for acupuncture, it's just some dude or some woman who's sticking needles in you.
Yeah.
Where's the money? The money goes to her. For her expertise, for her knowledge on how to treat you. Pharma makes nothing.
Yeah.
So why would they tell anybody that these treatments work? Have you had acupuncture?
Maybe once.
I've had it quite a
Okay.
few times. I tell you something, I've never experienced anything like it. Not every
Right.
single time, but the one time I went with a sore back,
Yeah.
and the woman put one needle in my hand. And then
Right.
she said, stand up and turn. And all of a sudden, I could move again from one
Okay.
needle. And the other time, I had treatment on my back, and the woman put some needles on either side of my spine. And I went from a guy who couldn't walk, who had to take a few days off. An hour after the treatment, I was walking fine. So I've experienced that. Where is the study showing how effective it is? Where are the doctors, especially in places like America, saying, "Hey, go and have acupuncture instead of taking drugs"? You don't see it because they can make money.
Oh, okay. And they will say it's very dangerous to use the local treatments because it's not. You may hurt yourself, kind of.
What about
start-
losing weight? Like being fat is probably one of the biggest things that make you get sick and have really bad sicknesses as you get older. Imagine in America if a whole lot of people lost weight. How much would that help their health, and how much would that hurt farmers' profits? So do you think the doctors ever are pushing people to lose weight, to exercise, to get outside, to get healthy? No, they're just pushing drugs. I mean, if you ever seen like on the TV in America, every 5 minutes a drug commercial. Talk to your doctor, blah 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 blah.
Oh, it's like a diet culture because they tell you you have to be skinny or you have to be like thin. Like if you want to do that, you need to like use their drugs, their vitamin D. No, not vitamin D. Some vitamin or some treatments so that you can be skinny. So at first it's like I think it's like a propaganda or some advertisement. You have to they have to make you believe what they say. The goal is you have to you it's your dream. They have to persuade you, then they sell you the product.
Sure. There's actually a pretty famous, I don't know if it's famous, but there's a cartoon that gets put around. And what it shows, it says, America doesn't have a healthcare system. They have a disease management system.
Disease
So once you get sick, they manage your sickness. But that's not healthcare. Because surely healthcare would be to prevent you from getting sick. So they don't, as I said, they don't tell people what to do to stay healthy. Because if you just keep your weight right, you can avoid so many health problems. So why isn't that the focus on trying to get people healthy so they don't get sick? Because that's not what they want. They want you to get sick so they can treat you. And that's why they say it's not a healthcare system, because healthcare, you care about your health. It's disease management. It's wait till you get sick and then, we've got all these medicines we've been making and we can help you with them.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you though, getting back to the pilots and then there was the kindergarten. Luckily, they haven't spread. Like I'm going on holiday in 2 weeks, so my girlfriend and I have been terrified because we thought, shit, we might have to cancel the holiday again.
Yeah, lockdown
but
everywhere.
My question for you is the fact that the pilot and the kindergarten teacher were both double vaccinated. What has this done for people in Taiwan, from the people you've talked to? Like, do people still, because I know people really wanted the vaccine, but when they see that people still get it, still spread it, has this changed opinions at all in Taiwan?
Okay. As I know, I think many people are aware of that the vaccine couldn't stop the virus, but they believe the vaccine will lessen the symptom.
Okay.
So you are not sick seriously.
Okay, so you think most people still want to get that vaccine?
They still want to get vaccine, and it's been a hot issue, not hot issue, like hot topic on social media. When you get vaccine, you post your vaccinated card on internet and tell your friend, hey, I'm one of you.
So do you know that right now in Taiwan, I think the deaths from the virus are about 840-ish? I can check on my phone.
But I think lots of people still believe that because we locked down a little bit.
Okay, 800 as of today. Hey, look at that. 0 cases today. 5 imported, but 0 local. Anyway, so 839 cases today. I checked yesterday. I think the deaths from the vaccine are at least 750. Like I was saying to you, that one day they're going to be equal. What's going to happen on the day that there be more deaths from the vaccine than from the virus?
Okay, that's another.
That's going to be very.
That's another interesting thing, because lots of doctors say those people die from vaccine because they have disease before getting vaccine.
Okay.
So it couldn't count it on the vaccine.
But you just described, if you take out the word vaccine, you just described the virus. Most people don't die from COVID; they die with COVID. So then
it's the same thing. It's the same thing, because you die. That's a weird thing. When you die from virus, you die from when you die and you have COVID, they will say it caused by COVID. They were
actually no, they don't. They say that you die with COVID most of the time. I think the number of people dying from COVID is like 6%. I'm not 100% sure, but it's around there. Very few people die from COVID. They die because they have some other problem.
No, I mean some people died, and they found they have COVID.
Yeah.
So they were counted the reason of death
As COVID.
as COVID. As
Sure.
COVID.
But people are making that distinction, though, dying from COVID or with COVID, because most of the deaths are not directly from COVID. It's not like COVID killed you. You died because you had some other problem.
Yeah, you have like kind of chronic disease.
Some kind of a chronic disease
Kind of that.
or, yeah.
But it's still you're still alive, but the COVID triggers the chronic disease, so you die. So they were counted as COVID.
Sure.
But if the virus, no, not the virus, the vaccine do the same thing. They were counted as your chronic disease. I think.
Oh, you mean so that there might be actually way more deaths from the vaccine?
No, they died. But some of the doctor will explain. You couldn't. You see they get vaccine then die, but you couldn't say they die because of the vaccine.
Okay, so that means are the numbers being underreported or overreported?
No, this is reported, but what the doctor explained the data. They say people don't worry about that. They are not die because of the vaccine because they already have some maybe they have the chronic disease.
You can say colonic. Colonic means like your ass and your stomach, your colon. Chronic.
Chronic.
Yeah.
Okay. So. It's
Sure,
a
but I mean, what
clear.
about all the countries around the world where they've had people dying from the vaccine and people who get heart problems from the vaccine? So that doesn't really make sense to me. I mean, so they're saying that you can't count any deaths because there was a chronic problem they had first. But if the same thing happens with the virus, you can. That sounds like fake. Like false
I know it's
advertising.
like a kind of I couldn't link my logic clearly, but
No, I mean, I think I understand what you're saying. So they're saying that, look, we can't say the vaccine killed someone because they had some other chronic problem, right? But that's exactly what, then can you really say that the person died from COVID because it triggered a chronic problem? It seems to be exactly the same thing.
yeah, right. But like I say, just when you try to like, no, because what the doctor explained, the phenomena, they use a different narrative, and people will just believe the authority, believe the expert with no doubt.
Well, this is going to end.
Going to end?
Yeah.
How? Why?
Well,
because for I
Oh,
know.
no, I can tell you why. Because guess what they're about to start doing? They're about to start vaccinating 12-year-old kids.
Taiwan.
12 to 15 years old, they're about to start. They got all the Pfizer vaccines. And it's going to be extremely sad because a lot of young people get side effects from the vaccine, whereas old people have problems from the virus. What's going to happen when 2 or 3 kids die from the vaccine? What are the doctors going to say then? Because that's not just me saying that. That's happened. Like young men having heart problems is a proven thing, side effect of the vaccine. So when young kids start getting sick or possibly dying from the vaccine, what's going to happen? Then that argument's going to disappear completely because then you're going to say, look, really it is the vaccine causing the death. And what's going to happen then? You know, Taiwan, people spread information like crazy here. What's going to happen when a few kids have died?
I don't know. Just depend how the media said. I think a lot of people.
You know the media. The media's going to go nuts.
Yeah, media get nuts.
Yeah. And I mean, now it's, as I said to you, it's coming out that people who've been vaccinated, I mean, look at Israel.
I know.
Record high case numbers right now. Like higher than they've ever been.
I know they
And
even
then-
have the 3 jabbed.
Yeah, so their
at the end of
vaccinations are the
July.
highest and their cases are the highest. So I'm curious.
Yeah.
And have you seen India?
I know India have the low cases.
And very low vaccines.
And Sweden is about going to like loosen
Sure.
the restriction.
But they've had quite a high level of vaccines though.
Oh yeah, right,
Yeah.
right.
But they never locked down. They never really had a mask mandate, and they've done better. But India doesn't have a lot of vaccines. They've used other medicines, but they're doing really well better than Israel. Much better.
I don't know. I just when I see the ideas or the beliefs in Taiwanese, they believe the vaccine and believe they are safe, no side effect. So, well, when
Really?
the yeah,
I've
as
heard,
I know,
well, maybe I've heard very different
No.
stuff. Like some of my clients who've come here this week have said to me, I'm pretty worried. I know a few people who had the vaccine. They had like serious fevers. They were terribly sick. They were really not good. That's what I heard. I had another session with a guy who had it. He couldn't even come meet me in person. He's like, man, I had the vaccine. He's like, I'm feeling terrible. So I know quite a few people who worried now because of seeing other people get the vaccine. I had another guy who was also worried because I think the locally produced vaccine, there have been 10 deaths after that. So I know that I've heard people saying they're worried about that too.
I know. I know some of people like us, we just worry about the vaccine has some side effect, so we are watch and wait and see. But I mean, I think most of Taiwanese, they still want to get vaccine and they believe it. And
Interesting, because there's another girl that comes. She's a reporter. She works for that CTI TV. And I've talked to her every week when she comes for her session with me. And just last week, she said to me, hey, guess what? I was like, what? She said, I told some of the people at my news station about what you've been telling me. And I said, right, what did they say? And she said, hey, they agree with you. Better to wait, to the case is on
With
high,
who?
wait. The people at her company, that CTI TV. And they said they agree, like you should possibly wait. So I don't know, we all talk to different people, but I've seen quite a lot of people who are hesitating now, saying this, and I'm not sure this is the right way. Especially because people can still get it, people can still spread it.
yeah.
So I don't know, I hope it's turning.
Yeah.